Smashy.
Is that like hitting it? Oh, I think we went live.
I think we went live. My phone just went off.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up?
Calvin just got in from down south. He's been down there for the last, week and a half, 2 weeks?
A little over a week and a half.
Yeah. And
yes, we do have chocolate-covered gummy bears in the house.
Yeah, I picked up a few things. I got chocolate. Now you've okay.
Crack, more crack.
Okay. Now this right here, my Aunt Helen got this for me. This was from Costco. So it's the white version.
And this is the hardcore version.
Okay. Now you've been eating those down south with the ones you took down there, right?
Yeah, the ones from down the street.
Okay, so you know what those taste like.
And they're decent. I mean, I've had nasty ones at the dollar store. Put it that way.
Okay, let me test it. Make sure they got it right. Okay, try that.
Oh yeah, now we're talking. That's got some kick to it.
Wait for it.
So you're saying it's like a spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich that creeps up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love those.
Okay. So to me, this is graduating from candy to something that's decent.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the Casa de Fruta Chili Lime Mango. Got some pretty good kick to it. That's fresh. Yeah. These are fresh. I mean, they make them right there.
These are really good. Holy crap.
Okay. Now try that. Now, keep in mind the little ones are going to be the pineapple. The long ones are going to be the mangoes.
Right.
Try either one. Don't matter.
Well, for one, there's like 18 miles of seasoning on these.
You'd think it's going to be hot, right?
Dude, it tastes like
brown sugar.
Yeah, it actually tastes. It tastes nasty because it's like all you're getting is sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar.
I mean, if you don't have the others, they taste pretty good. But when you've got the other ones, it's like, let me get the Casa de Fruta one.
Or you got the ones down the street.
Yeah, ones down the street aren't bad.
I mean, compared to what I've had at the dollar store, they're really good. And the dollar store ones are really nasty. Like they pretty much taste like they took mangoes, dried them underneath the car exhaust, put them in a bag.
Now, see, these are not with lime or lemon, or it's just a chili mix.
No.
Nutty and fruity.
Nasty and disgusting. My personal
opinion. It's not bad. But you can taste the brown sugar on it.
I just don't like it.
That's more candy than the one from over there.
No, the other one's the real deal.
Yeah. Hey, Alkish, how you doing? TK's in the house. Hello, thank you for joining. Whatever Maker, how you doing?
Welcome.
I imagine everybody back in Goshen, Indiana are probably completely smashed right about now. Right now, we are part of that blackout.
Oh, BV3D's in here. You must not be smashed yet.
Oh, that's cool. How you doing, BV3D?
Battery's not there. I don't even know who's there. I know Kayla from Build Tax over there.
Everybody's over there.
Keg is over there.
Everybody but you and me. We're the only ones not there.
Surprised Jerry's out there.
I'm glad he is. I'm glad he made it.
Ditto.
So this is something I found today I didn't even know existed. Chocolate gummy bears.
Diabetes in the box.
Yep. Yep, I'm going to pay for this one.
Alkish is saying he just got back on the computer after an hour passed out on the floor of his daughter's bedroom waiting for her to go to sleep. Dude, the things parents have to go through. You have my sympathies, ma'am. No, sorry. Not my thing.
I tried it.
Ranks up. This personally ranks up there with these. It's just should never be produced. Nope. This is legit.
I'm still on the fence about the gummy bears.
Not my thing. Way too sweet. Then again, I drank a whole Mountain Dew high voltage to stay awake to come on over here, so I think it might be kind of sugared out.
So the chocolate itself is really, really good. But then you got the sweet from the gummy bear that's that
Corn syrupy.
well, no, it's not the corn syrup, it's the fruity flavor coming through.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of is like no, of course you got straight up Prusa gummy bear underneath.
Oh my gosh, the great one is in the house. We are not worthy.
How you doing, Greg? Thank you for joining.
Oh crap, AA Ron's in here. Okay, we got to kill a stream of
Hey,
fire.
Ron. Hey, Ron, what's up?
Got to kill a stream of fire. AA Ron's in here. It's all gonna go downhill from there. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy.
Oh goodness. Yeah, anyway, since he was in town, I figured we're just going to do a quick stream and say what's up. I've been under the weather, so I haven't been able to hardly do anything as far as talking. I sound like Alex Jones.
I've been, let's see, I drove down to Southern California last Thursday / Friday.
Yeah, we were going to stream that night, remember?
Yeah.
We were going to stream that night, and I was so sick, and he was just not feeling it, so we didn't do it.
That wasn't up. We weren't up for it. So then we decided to work on the printer when we blew up the board and the boost converter on camera.
No, that was back before that.
Oh, right. Duh, that was when I took my car in.
That was like a month ago or so.
That was when I took my car in for the oil change.
Yeah.
Duh. So there was that. And
Poor little Chip. Where'd little Chip
wait.
go? There's little Chip.
Oh, that's the time that I filmed the artillery
Chip.
video.
Poor little Chip.
No, wait. Now I remember. That was the time that I filmed the artillery 3D first impressions video. Was then because I shot that video the morning I was driving down. So I literally shot it and hit the road. And I did the time lapses overnight. And then went down south to my parents for spring break. That was pretty good. Got to see grandma a couple of times. She was really happy to see me. Got to see some friends. Got to do a crap ton of machining, which was nice. And that's about that. So, yeah. But it went by really fast. I mean, let's see. Thursday, I went down to Ashley from Chip Build's place to try and do some laser cutting and try and get our X-Carb going. That's it. Laser cutting and X-Carb didn't really go the best. Then Friday, I was helping my dad with a tree when I was hoping to take it easy. That didn't happen. Saturday, which is today, I drove up to Lake Astitas, which is a giant reservoir that they have campsites and stuff. Danielle and her sister and her dad were camping out there, and she invited me out to go kayaking. So I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I want to do that. And the kayaking rate was only like $10 for the first hour and $7 for every hour after that, which is
that's not bad.
Oh, dude. Out in Ventura, where we would go paddleboarding usually, they wanted like $20 an hour to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah. So I had to pay $10 to park there, but oh well. It's a wash at the end of the day. And it was really beautiful. So I'm going to work on editing her video because she shot some footage and I shot a little bit as well to show you guys in the video just how far we paddled to go check out some poppies on the other side of a lake. Went to this little beach thing, hung out, like rested there for like 20 minutes and then paddled all the way back. And I'm just like dead at the end of that, like crap, I still got to drive. Then we went to near Solvang to get some really good sandwiches for lunch, which was great. And then I just had to hit the road because by the time I hit the road, it was at least like 3 something. Because I didn't get there till about 12:30. We didn't actually start to do the kayaking till like 1 or 1:30.
Oh wow.
We didn't get back till like 3:30 or something, 2:30, 3:30. Then we had food, and it was about 4 by the time I left there. So that's the reason why I got into Salinas so late.
Man.
But on the flip side, it was definitely worth it, although I am absolutely exhausted. But I'm glad I have here as the stopover point regardless.
Yeah.
You know, my original plan was to get in earlier, but you know what? I'm kind of glad I did that because it was a nice way to end out the trip because, you know, it was kind of a roller coaster, and I won't go into all the details of it because some of that's personal family stuff. But
Really?
yeah,
What kind of personal stuff?
we'll talk about that off stream. But no, it was.
I'll get him to say it.
It was a good break, although it went by way too fast. Way too fast. Oh, and the cool thing was though, on the first Saturday that I was down there, I think it was Saturday. No, was it Saturday? I don't remember if it was Friday or I think it was Saturday. No, it was Monday, I believe it was. This is how fast it went by. Monday, I believe it was. is when Danielle and I got to go to the California Science Center, got to check out their dog special exhibit, which was okay. I mean, it was interesting, but it was definitely more geared towards a younger crowd, but it still had some interesting stuff there. Then we went and saw the Superhero Dogs IMAX, which totally recommend if you guys can go and watch it. Really well done, really emotional at times, but really good IMAX. And the cool thing was with our IMAX tickets, that gave us free admission to the Space Shuttle Endeavour exhibit. So we got to poke around the Space Shuttle Endeavour. The only bummer was we had to be out of there by about 3:30 or 4 because I had to get Danielle back to her place around 6 so she could then run to do a aquatics class at 6:30. But we still did a lot for the day. We didn't get to explore the whole place, but she still got to check out the aquarium side, which she absolutely loved. Yeah, if you guys really just should go check out the video. It was a really fun time because she had never been to the Science Center and had a blast. I'd been there multiple times, but I'd never seen the Space Shuttle Endeavour. It had been forever since I'd seen an IMAX. So I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, Jason and Rover just joined.
What's up?
Actually, Jason joined earlier, but you didn't give me a chance to say anything.
Sorry.
Plus, I was eating another one of those awesome gummy bears. Actually, it wasn't that bad. The second one's not as bad as the first one.
I just think I had way too much sugar, and it's kind of affecting my taste.
Yeah, the gummy bears aren't bad. Now, what I should have got, I didn't get it.
What?
Chocolate-covered Oreo.
Oh, gosh.
A chocolate-covered Oreo. I looked at that, I'm like, this is like $19.99 a pound. I'm like, I wonder if they'd let me buy like 2 of them.
I don't think they care.
They might not. They might let me do it.
Probably. I mean, did it say a minimum of 1 pound? As long as it registers on the scale, I think it counts.
TK, Chad always reminds me of the old TV show Cheers.
Never seen it, so a little bit over my head. But
yeah, next time I go past there, I will pick some of those up. I will make sure we do it.
Being that you seem to always love to drive to Chico Pass.
I love that place.
Dude, it's awesome.
I did make it over to my favorite restaurant over there, though.
You suck.
Black
Bear?
It was so good.
Oh,
I almost told you to come up by 5, and I thought, nah, by now he's already halfway up by 101.
To go up 5 would have added probably at least another 2 hours to my trip time.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have been worth it.
Probably would have.
So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with 101. I don't want to change anything up and have any issues.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? I just need to get there. So my biggest concern was getting really drowsy at the wheel about an hour out from Salinas and just being like, you know, after Danielle's incident, whenever her dad told me drive safe, it took on a whole freaking new meaning.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because did I tell you I got to go see the actual crash site where it happened?
I saw the picture of it you sent.
I was just standing there in like.
And she came off the overpass?
Literally, from what she said, she was driving along. She went to change lanes and realized there was an SUV in her blind spot. So then she quickly swerved back. But the problem is the 4Runner was lifted. Right. So it had a much higher center of gravity. And I know this for a fact because I've driven that vehicle. It definitely, you have to treat it differently. But then the problem was when it was unstable, she tapped the brakes instinctively, which she admits is the wrong thing to do. The area that it happened in is notorious for being really gusty, windy as well, because there's kind of like mountains on both sides. So it was a perfect storm of everything going wrong. What happened is the vehicle was tipped, then hitting the brakes didn't help. And then at that moment, a gust of wind hit, and that was the final nudge. She doesn't know how many times she rolled before she went over the edge. It took her like a minute to realize her car had even gone off the bridge. It happened so fast. So she was tumbling, she assumes at least twice, and then whee, and splats. The crazy thing is she actually got to meet one of the people that helped pull her out of the car. And he was saying what happened is he was like somewhere down in LA at like a gym, coming back kind of in a bad mood. People were driving like idiots that day, as always. Not that she was doing anything wrong, but you know, things happen in the blink of an eye. And he remembers kind of like changing lanes because people in front of him were just like, you know, constantly changing lanes and everything. He's like really annoyed. And he remembers seeing her kind of swerving, going, oh, that's not good. And then he kind of looks to double check that he can change lanes safely. And then the next second he looks, the car is not there, and he's seeing cars pulling over to the side. He goes, oh, shoot, something must not be right. So the crazy thing is she had a photo in her phone of what her car looked like from the top of the bridge looking down before they towed it, just lying on its side. And I just was standing there like, dude, like just, I mean, her dad, I mean, I know some people are religious and some aren't. I am. I mean, regardless of what you believe in, you've got to admit someone or something was looking out for her that day. Because, and I mean, the way that whole thing went, she should have just been like dead.
Well, the fact that the only part of it that still had any height to the roof was right where her head was at.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that saved her life, I'll tell you.
I mean, because it's like in the best case scenario, and I mean, the crazy thing is she said that when she was picked up by the ambulance crew and they saw her car, they couldn't believe she was okay. When the ambulance crew dropped her off at the hospital to get evaluated, they couldn't believe she was okay, given the status report that the ambulance crew had given the hospital. And she got released like a couple hours later when they figured out that no broken bones, just some cuts, some stitches, you know, otherwise she was perfectly fine. And I'm just like, I mean, like I told her dad, I'm like, she dodged a machine gun volley that day. He goes, I still can't believe it. I'm like, I think it's still setting in for all of us what she managed to walk away from. I mean, I'm just like, that just puts a whole new perspective on life when you know a really good friend that literally came inches from dying. And the scariest thing is where her car came down was right between two fence posts. Actually, the bottom part of her car actually bent one of the fence posts. I'm like, you are so lucky that fence post did not come up and just impale you and kill you instantly, the way it bent. But there are so many things that just played into her surviving that day. I mean, yeah, when I asked her if it was okay to go to the crash site, she goes, oh yeah, that's fine. I've been there a couple of times. I'm like, okay. Because I was really curious because I was thinking she just rolled down the embankment, in which she points out, no, I fell from up there and my car landed here. I'm just standing there like, can you explain that again? Well, I take a photo of this because nobody on Twitter believes you survived that. And then now you see it. And I'm like, you know, I'm still getting chills talking about it. I mean, standing there was just like, am I in some dream right now? Because this just does not compute, you know.
I wonder if somehow it landed partway on the suspension portion of it to kind of break the fall.
It might have. I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll never know exactly what happened, but yeah, let's just say it was scary. I mean, but thanks to those who, you know, pulled over and pulled her out and called for an ambulance and called her parents and everything like that. I mean, you definitely have a new appreciation for when you see an accident pulling over, if it's serious, to make sure somebody's okay. Because, you know, don't assume anybody else is going to do it. If you see something, pull over and check, because it could be serious.
Oh yeah.
You know, you could mean the difference between somebody living or dying. And I've seen a couple of accidents and pulled on over to check. I mean, it's something that haunts you forever.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, enough depressing stuff.
Well, I mean, she made it through it. That's the main thing.
I don't think it's fully set in for anybody, just what she survived. She was saying over at her church Bible study thing, they showed photos of the accident, and nobody could believe that she walked away from it.
Now, what's the insurance doing about her car?
I don't know. I didn't ask about that part, but...
And
yeah. The sad thing is, it's like if you were clever enough, you could probably, I mean, the tires still look like they were in okay condition and stuff. You know, knowing my dad, he'd probably be like, oh, okay, let's see what's still salvageable on this thing. And we can, you know, it's kind of like you kind of say to yourself, you know, but in that case, it's definitely a write-off.
Yeah.
Make it the convertible 4Runner. Put a roll cage in it. But no. Man. Yeah. As TK said, thank God for modern safety changes over the years in cars. Yeah. Although your average car is not designed to roll off a 30-foot or 10-meter high bridge and go splat.
What? A pyro. How you doing, Travis?
Oh my gosh. Travis is burning it up in
here.
You
lit it up in there, man.
I need to stream more often. I'm just kidding. Nah. I'm still taking a break from streaming.
So when are you planning on coming back to streaming?
we'll see. The main issue is the internet.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest issue I have is
Start going to Starbucks.
I don't want everybody hacking my Wi-Fi. I don't have a VPN.
Well, that's when you're supposed to get that NordVPN.
And use like everybody's promo code for it.
Yeah.
Although
Jay's 2 cents promo code.
Linus probably has one. Like every other channel I know has one.
Yeah. Let's see if this thing printed all right.
Funny thing is, my sister wants to go to China, and she needs, if she does that, she needs to get a VPN.
Oh, yeah.
She's all explaining it to my mom. What's a VPN? I'm like, it fakes like you're somewhere that you're not.
I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
So Travis is saying, we are the not at Murph crowd. Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, we're the poor ones.
I'll be honest. I would have liked to have gone to Murph, but with everything that's been going on, both public and private with me, no, maybe next year. I mean, I would have loved to have gone, but I'm good for now.
So this is that.
Ooh, Jimmy fixed the printer.
Let's see if it fixes it. I don't like this stuff. I've forgotten to put a stupid brim on it.
Jimmy screwed up.
Yep, I messed up.
So BB3D is saying he's actually not at Murph. He wanted to go, but it was a bit too expensive for him to take the trip this year.
Oh, I could imagine. It was just the flight for Beth and I was going to be, I want to say it was $1,200 for the two of us.
That's ridiculous.
And that's not even including the hotel room and
I think with the
car rental and all that.
I think with the popularity of Murph, you know, businesses outside there are starting to get wise.
Take advantage of it.
Well, all of a sudden, this town in the middle of Podunk nowhere's population probably triples overnight.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
I can imagine it does.
So as TK says, I would rather spend the money it would cost to go to get there on a new PC. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
Honestly, as much as I would love to go to an event like that, at the same time, it's kind of like, I mean, yeah, would it be fun? Yeah. But at the same time, it's kind of like, is it really worth all the effort to go out there for such a short event? And I mean, have it, well, as Alkesh says, he saw a few minutes of Country 3D stream and it was packed at one point, almost no way to even walk around. That sounds like Maker Faire.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to, I
like Maker Faire though.
Yeah. I don't want to diss events for being popular, but they
I'm not
almost
going to say I like Maker Faire because it's so close, but
well, I mean,
it's the one thing I could actually drive to.
yeah. You know, it's like, I mean, I guess I'll just speak from going to other 3D printing meetups. It's like when they get super crowded, I just get ridiculously stressed out. And then trying to talk to anybody is kind of a nightmare because every time you go to talk to them, somebody else jumps in the conversation. And it's like, I'm good, but I might go eventually, but I might have to see if somebody would be willing to help foot the bill for my travel. We'll see.
Do you see the little box of
sharp implements?
Let's whack a finger off, huh?
Let's not have to run you to the ER on this stream.
Wow, that might improve some views here.
So BE3D says,
Ooh, feel that.
Says nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. Which event, Murph or Maker Faire? Of which last year Maker Faire was like dead compared to other years.
Yeah, it was.
Even on Sunday when Danielle and I went, I told her, I'm like, if you think this is crowded, I'm like, this is dead in comparison. Which I'm not saying it was a good thing or a bad thing that it was, less people, but it was definitely interesting.
Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Am I going the wrong direction? Oh.
Do you want me to try?
Oh, damn it. There we go.
Oh, it was just spinning.
Yeah.
So TK is saying he would just stress out so bad he'd end up hospitalized. Yeah, I've had enough close calls at Maker Faire and like 1 or 2 3D printing events. I'm just like, I'm
close
good.
Calls.
To like complete nervous breakdown just from all the people and all the stuff going on.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have a really hard time dealing with crowds, like large crowds. It's, and that's the thing that makes Maker Faire so stressful is it's hard to find a quiet area to just go and chill out for 5 minutes because everywhere you go, there's something going on.
Yeah.
And then you throw in, you know, stress from travel, and it's just like, doo, this downhill spiral. But oh well. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying that I've not gotten better about it, but at the same time, it's still something I have a hard time with. So,
Yeah.
I mean, let's just put it this way: traveling to somewhere in the middle of nowhere is not fun. Plus, given how dodgy things are with flying anymore, it's like, is my plane gonna actually take off or not? Are they gonna ground it? You know. So whatever.
Yeah, once they get that problem fixed with those
737
yeah,
Maxes.
they'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I mean that more in terms of like weather, because I've been weather delayed overnight in an airport before, and that was not fun. So.
But once again, why fly when it's really bad weather?
True. Well, I remember the last time I was in Florida, everybody was hoping that my flight was going to get delayed because of weather, so I could stay longer, and I kind of hoped that too. But we literally were like one of the last flights out of Pensacola before the other flights were. They were saying on the PA system, this flight might have to be canceled because of the incoming storm, and I'm like, oh shoot, should have got a later flight.
Yeah.
Oh well. I didn't want to get back into San Francisco at midnight though, so that was kind of my thought process.
I think I'll have to go back to the drawing board on this thing.
Rover's saying the video died, Jimmy.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Audio's still going.
Yeah, it looks like it did die, didn't it?
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
Try turning the
leave call.
Try turning the camera on and off.
Yeah, let's see here.
DK saying the sound is working.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that.
Camera's off.
Camera's off.
It says camera is not working. Great.
You want to unplug it and plug it back in?
Yeah, which one is it?
The one's coming from the camera up top.
Yeah, that helps.
I don't know. This
Well,
right
if
here?
it was on the front or the back.
That's on the back.
Okay. Plugged it. I'll give it a few seconds.
Plug it back in. It'll be fine.
And in.
Did you say you stuck it in?
Yeah, I put it in.
Anything else? Can't use selected camera.
Your computer did say it was doing a Norton's.
There we go. It's back.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Hey.
At least I see something moving.
Elon sounding like Jar Jar Binks there for a second. Yes. My favorite character in Star Wars in the movie I've never seen, but I just say it to annoy everybody. Because one instructor was talking to another student about Star Wars. He goes, yeah, if you really want to annoy Star Wars fans, you just say Jar Jar Binks is my favorite character, even if you've never seen it. So I've done that to all my friends who love Star Wars, and they hate me for it.
I'll bet they do.
I can't. I'm like, I've never seen the movie, but I like Jar Jar Binks. I'm like, oh, shut
It's
up.
the most worthless character ever created.
That's how you know I've really never seen it, just to annoy everybody.
Yeah, I think I messed up on my spacing.
Yeah,
That's not going to work.
Nope.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and print theirs and be the sheep that they want me to be.
I'm surprised.
I don't like being a sheep.
The thing I find weird, though, is how you're having Z-banding issues with your models, and I'm not.
I don't know, but that's a well-known issue, apparently, because they have that fix they created.
Well, you want to know the funny thing? Guess which slicer I'm using?
A piece of garbage Simplify?
Yes, but it's not introducing very much of any Z-banding, so...
It probably has to do with acceleration or something.
Yeah, it's got to do with...
Well, do you use the Z-Hop? That's why.
I try and avoid using Z-Hop at all costs, because to me, it's just going to introduce slop into the system, because most printers don't have compensating nuts on there. That's something that always annoys the crap out of me.
Spoken like a true man, always blaming it on the nuts.
So Tony's asking, anything on fire yet? What do you want me to light on fire, Tony? That's the real question.
Yeah, Calvin would be happy to burn all kinds of stuff over here.
I can burn a gummy bear. I can burn some crappy chili mangoes with no lime. They taste
They're
disgusting.
not that bad. They're pretty good.
I don't really like them. No, the Casa de Fruta stuff, man, that's the bomb.
Okay, these are growing on me.
Diabetes intensifies.
Yes.
Surprised I don't have diabetes yet, considering all the sugar I drank on the drive up.
Let me see if this is even. Oh, yeah, that's true. Got something right.
Here's a thought. Why not make the pins like dowel pins that you buy and you press in there?
Good.
I would, honestly, because printed pins are going to have really low strength. And they're just going to be a pain. And then you
I can make the top of it a little bit thicker, put little pinholes, and then just use screws and screw from the bottom.
That too. Maybe put like a
Ain't nothing like
hex
screwing from behind.
put a small hex on the top.
You didn't even catch it.
Maybe I pretended not to catch it.
Murph looks deserted. What?
He put a wink in there. I think he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, that place looked pretty packed to me today.
See,
I was watching the stuff here and there. And every the videos I saw looked like it was just packed.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for Mr. Carroll Science to jump in there and start yapping about C-Dub West Coast Rip Rap Fest over at his crib. Gotta make this happen at some point, dude. I mean, I got my Ultimaker in the trunk. We can call it C-Dub West Coast Rip Rap Fest.
They call them gummy bears. They destroyers of teeth. They call them things right out, don't they?
Ron's out of here. He's been up about 23 hours. Dude,
get some sleep. Man.
No kidding. Can't be there for your family if you're not awake. Put it that way.
Take care, Aaron.
Peace out, dude.
Yeah, we're probably going to take off here in a little bit. He said he hasn't eaten, so we got to go grab something to eat. Otherwise, he's going to have a sugar high.
I haven't had dinner yet. I ate at like 3 something after paddleboarding and ate breakfast at like 8.
He's going to be putting his hood thing over his head going, I am Cornholio.
No. I wear in every video Bill Tack hoodie is actually in my car somewhere.
I'm Cornholio. Oh, God. I need TP for my bunghole.
Oh, gosh.
What's wrong? Did you ever watch that?
No.
That's right. You're one of them.
Yeah, let's just say I'm seriously going to do a video at some point about why I am the way that I am so people understand it better and talk about, well, actually there's a joke.
I'm special, so that's the reason why I am the way I am.
There's actually a joke in the beginning, a completely ad-lib joke in the beginning of the Science Center video that I had to use the audio from when Danielle and I were, what's up, Ashley? We're bickering about like watching science documentaries, and she was saying how she watched more than I did, and I'm like, oh, don't even go there. and then the audio that didn't make it in there because I was using the audio for my Tascam because I was walking away when she was saying it, and it didn't pick it up on the lav mic. Then she's like, well, I take that back. I watched more like Animal Planet documentaries. I'm like, well, that's better than what most people can say. So, no, it was still funny, though.
Mommy, Daddy, what are the animals doing to each other? They're fighting. No, they're not fighting.
I'll never forget back when the Goslings were a thing, and it was probably some promotional thing that they were watching Planet Earth, and the animals were doing what the animals do to reproduce, and the kids, and they had to try and tell the kids that they were, quote, hugging. I'm just like, why are you watching this episode of Planet Whatever?
Reminds me of the Hodge twins. Yeah.
Is that after they roll out of the KFC with their steaming hot buns?
That was not KFC. That was Popeyes.
Sorry.
My goodness, get it right.
I've only watched the video like once. I think I've watched Lyle building a computer more times.
Animal porn.
That's the one thing I will say is for being quote family friendly shows. Why do they have to show the animals doing that? They could just cut that out. Just saying. Just saying. Other stuff gets cut out. No.
What other stuff gets cut out?
Oh, you know, them eating other animals, things like that. Usually, the really
They
graphic
don't
stuff.
cut that out. They always show that.
Oh, whatever.
They always show that, especially when the hyenas come in and start ripping everything apart.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
And of course, the girl hyena has got to come through there and bone everybody else.
Hey, who found dinner?
Who's your boss? Yeah. That's right. I'm the leader.
Oh gosh, so bad.
Oh.
Yeah, you want because that's circle of life. Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, it sure is.
So you want to tell us about this sacrilege Amazon Basics PLA that you're running on the printer instead of AMZ 3D? How dare you?
So Josh bought, got a special where you get like 5 rolls for like $50 or something like that. It's like dirt cheap.
At that rate, I'm always scared.
He is having problems up the yin yang getting it to stick to his bed.
Oh, really?
And I'm not having problems with it sticking to the bed.
You're having problems with that printing.
Yeah, it's just, you got to really turn it up. If you don't have the heat turned up to about 215, and even at that, you can see more layer lines than that than you normally can.
Well, for comparison, here is the McKean car that was done at probably like 205, 210 in AMZ. And mind you, this whole part underneath here was held up with support. So there's very little holding it. Turned out pretty good. Compare it to this guy, and it's like a murder happened on the printer. I mean, this is hideous.
Yeah, that's the worst print I've gotten off that printer yet.
And I know this printer can do good quality prints.
Yeah.
If you don't enable Z-Hop, especially. But oh, wait, here's another good example. The wonderful sticker holder. I mean, that thing turned out nice. I think it's crispy. But all things considered. But yeah, no, you know. Oh, the foam story. I'll tell them that in a minute. That was a good one.
What's that?
So you know how underneath your printer you have that wonderful foam and the adhesive? Yeah. So I bought one of those. It was a 2-pack, and I told Ashley when I was down at her place, "Oh, you want me to put it on Mo, the printer, the A10?" I'm like, she's like, "Sure, why not?"
Named it?
She named it.
Oh.
She bought an A10, so she decided to name it. Not my problem. Talk to her personally if you have issues with it, Jimmy. She's right there in the chat.
You never name your printer. You never kiss a hooker. And you never name your printer. I'm just joking with you.
So the problem is we got the BL Touch installed. That actually went really well. But the problem is because G-Tech doesn't know how to put out decent firmware, I think it's a twofold problem. One problem is the PID settings are way off on the printer because we were having issues with it trying to get up to bed temp without alarming out. So then she went ahead and pulled it off, and she's still having issues. But I think the problem is it's actually the PID settings in the firmware are so off. I tried doing PID auto tune on the bed, but I couldn't find a way to save the settings to the machine. So I'm probably going to fire up the A10M and just pull the settings off that because it's close enough. Because the problem is the A10, the A10, and the A10, the A20, and the A30 both share the same firmware, but they all have 3 different size beds. So their settings are going to be wildly different. So I wish G-Tech actually had specific firmwares for every machine, but oh well, they're too busy doing other stuff to do that.
BB3D Jim was just joking about it. It's okay to get suckers. Oh my god.
Ashley's probably sitting there like, I'm going to just
she already clicked the little X up in the corner.
I'm going to get this flaming message. How dare you
She clicked the X up in the corner and had her middle finger up the entire time she did it.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there. Not even going to go there.
Tony wants to know if she has plans to name Larry and a Curly.
No, the other one may or may not be named Wally if he ever shows up at her doorstep.
Probably says, does Looker have a 3D printer?
And this is why we're streaming on your channel, not mine. Yeah, Robbie, there is a heated bed. I just think the problem is the PID settings are so wildly off when it's trying to heat. It's not seeing the right settings.
Yeah.
And it's freaking it out. And it's doing the temp error, which it should as a safety precaution, but it's really annoying. So I'll figure it out. It's irritating.
That's weird because you'd think it would just warm up and it would sense it's warm and be happy.
I think the problem is because it was trapping so much heat underneath the sensor, it was freaking it out why it was climbing so fast. Because I could get it to print with it. But the problem is it wasn't reliable on the heat up. I mean, some of the times it would go to heat up, it would work okay. Some of the times it wouldn't.
So where's the sensor at?
Middle of the bed. And it was already covered with, from the factory, it was already covered with some of that cotton stuff, and then had capped on over that as well. So I think all of that insulation in there was causing it to retain so much heat. It was thinking the bed was going into thermal runaway and it was shutting it down.
So how about if you cut a hole over that sensor?
She already peeled it all off.
Okay. I was going to say if you cut a hole over the sensor, you'd be around.
Yeah.
So it can have ambient air around it.
Or I was able to get it to work with PID Auto Tune with that on there. I think if you went in there and you changed the PID Auto Tune setting, the PID settings, it would work fine. But the problem is I couldn't get the PID settings to stick. So it was kind of a useless case because I was able to get to do PID Auto Tune fine because it kind of overrides everything because it wants to go in there and try and find the settings, but trying to get them to stick. I should have just wrote them down and manually inputted them, but oh well. It's probably easy enough just to go into the controller and change the settings with the knob.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is not ideal, but at least if it gets it operational again, because the BL Touch works great. I got to admit, the BL Touch actually works really well, and thanks to 3D Maker Noob for a really good video on how to set it up. I mean, we took off the springs on the printer and just put standoffs in there because we figured if we have the auto bed leveling, there's no point in having the springs in there. It's probably more accurate than having the springs, and it probably eliminates any potential warp in the bed because there's no force on the bed trying to skew things. Set it up, and we were getting perfect first layers every time. They were a little bit tall, but I figured you can always go back and you can just change the setting in the printer to drop the first layer height if you need to. But the advantage of it was it would just, at the beginning of the print, probe the bed, and then we just had to change the starting script a little bit so it would pull the nozzle to the front corner, do the purge and print. But for the extra minute it added, I mean, the first layers were turning out perfect every time.
So did you put the bucket on for the...
I'm going to do that on my A10 quote Y. I'm going to set up a purge bucket. So that way, when the machine goes to change filaments, it pulls it over, pulls out the old one, puts the new one in, lets it sit for a couple of seconds, and then it wipes and goes back. So I think I'm going to do that.
Sorry, just thinking of another name for the bucket, but never mind.
But I do want to do the purge bucket because my idea with the A10Y is it's not going to be like we're going to run dual materials because the problem is pulling the filament in and out just grinds it up.
Yeah.
But the idea is for doing a mid-print swap a couple of times, that's fine for like one color, one layer, one color, another layer. But I'm also going to set it up when it does the filament swap so it purges out a fair length of the filament that's been chewed up.
Yeah.
Doing the purging. Yes, it wastes a little bit of filament, but if it eliminates a purge block, it'll speed things up dramatically.
Just dropped my ruler.
Yeah, sorry. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still tweaking with the thing a bit, but it's getting there.
Gotta watch out for those Mexican standoffs.
The guards were made in Germany or Taiwan.
What's that?
The packaging said they were made in either Germany or Taiwan.
Either or.
Whoever can do it cheapest. Elon saying 7x7 mesh on the MK3S is like you gave a 9-year-old speed. Holy crap, it's fast.
Oh, wow.
Does it do double probing? Does it do the probe once fast and twice slow? Or does it do it just once?
It's too much in you doing this one. Way too much.
That's why I asked. And how many times does it probe as well, especially if it's doing double probing? Probably worse than those alien abduction stories.
Oh goodness.
Got you killed with that one.
Ain't nothing like that double probe. Gotta stick it in there good.
Oh my gosh. Literally can't even right now, dude. Literally can't even. So bad. Oh my gosh. The 5 times, dude. That's just. That's
excessive.
That's a little excessive. I think by the second time, you're probably good. By that point, I think the bed has had too much in that one area. It's time to move on.
It's getting a little sore.
Make it even better. The last one's a little slower. Yeah, BB3D, I literally can't even right now, so I'm just going to storm off set and light something on fire to get back at it.
Can't even.
Find myself unable to even. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is bad.
And the last of them is usually slower. Wow. Ain't nothing like that slow probe.
So on another note, did I tell you that Danielle relabeled her YouTube channel?
What's that?
She renamed her YouTube channel.
What'd she name it?
Instead of White Tigress 18, it's now Living the Adventure.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which is pretty cool.
I made a comment about one of her the butterfly video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. When was it she went over there?
I'd have to look. Butterfly video.
Yeah, the monarch butterflies.
Oh, the one we just edited. That was a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
Because the problem is, what happens is usually is she'll upload the footage to a shared Google Drive. I'll download the footage. I'll do a rough edit, and then I'll just send her a low-res edit of the video. I had it close, but there were some scenes that she wanted redone a little bit, which is perfectly fine because I don't know all the backstory behind everything. So when I came down this time, I was able to, I think we were going to edit it last time. We were going to try and do it like over Hangouts or something, and we just scrapped it. So then this time when I was down, she was able to come on over and we were able to finish editing it and get it really good. That was a couple months ago, actually.
Oh, okay.
But that was really cool. Because the story is what happened is they were going to go to Pacific Grove because normally that's like the monarch butterfly hotspot.
Right.
That actually didn't work. There were a few butterflies there, but it wasn't that great because what happened is the Thomas fire, she believes, screwed up the migration pattern.
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing happened. So then what happened is she was really disappointed because she was there with her dad and her sister. And I think they were going to stay the night in a hotel anyway. So the next morning before they were going to head home, I think she called a couple of the places to find out who actually had a decent flock of butterflies there before they showed up. And then finally, I forget.
You did say flock, right?
I think I said it wrong. Whatever. Decent size of stuff to justify driving up there. So they actually had to go all the way to Santa Cruz to finally find something. And when they got up there, the only problem is because of the way the lighting was, you couldn't see them very much. But in the video, you could see them, you know, flying around. And it took a lot of driving, but they finally got what they were looking for. And then the cool thing is, she doesn't remember what beach it was, but they, you know, because they were still up there and they had a lot more time than they thought. Yeah. They went to the beach to fly the kite, which was funny because it's a giant butterfly. So that was really cool. So, but yeah,
that's cool.
And then this weekend was a camping trip. So I actually was able to, while we were at lunch, I was actually able to download all the footage from that to my laptop. So she doesn't have to do the whole drive thing, which can be kind of a pain for both of us. So I've got all that so I can start to edit that up.
You got any more of them flocking butterflies?
Oh, man. Oh, this is bad.
Oh, man.
Wait, what the heck is this thing down here? Electric marble machines?
Yeah, I was looking at those ones at Maker Faire last year.
Oh, man. I have the laser cut Solar Robotics one. It's cool, but it is so finicky. It's a pain in the butt.
I still have my original test cam holder that melted that first time.
The time that we filmed on the sacred ground at Maker Faire.
God, ain't no sacred ground there.
Yeah, hey, it's a sacred ground.
Probably where all the teenagers go to make out during Maker Faire.
The thing things we had to edit out of that video. Still love the part when you, me, Danielle, and Joe were hanging out there, and I forget what Joe said, but you're like, "You're gonna be in the doghouse tonight." Oh man, so many bad things were said. That was so bad. It was so bad.
So I wonder how all that's going on back there at Maker Fair, or not at Maker Fair, but Murph.
With Joe.
Yeah. There's all kinds of people there that
love him.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, here's the one thing I will say about people like Dustin, Joe, and Jerry. Their online persona and their in-person actions are way different, because Ashley was asking me about like Jerry and Joe and Dustin, and I'm like, okay, the reality is, in reality, they're not even a fraction of the way they behave online. I think it's partly just the way the internet is. Everybody takes things way too personal. Things get out of hand way too fast. And a lot of people get really bent out of shape. And yeah, some things are definitely more worth getting bent out of shape over, but it's...
Although that picture of him nibbling on that girl's candy, I don't know about that one.
Which one's that again?
Miss Barnacules may have a rolling pin waiting for him when he gets home.
Oh, wait, Jerry? You're going to have to show me that photo. I have not been keeping up because I've been driving all day. That was going to be good.
It was, what's her name? Double D?
Amy Double D?
Yeah, that's it.
She's interesting.
Is she?
Yeah. I mean, she does some really cool stuff. I've never met her in person, though. Because when I was hanging out with Tamara from Mythbusters, she was saying that Amy was working on some cosplay stuff for her, which was really cool.
Let's see if I can find it here.
Hey, what's up, 3D Medic Vince? Just kind of chilling here before I completely crash out. Long day.
Let's see if I can find that picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a little careful if I were you, Jerry. That could be taken way the wrong way. And in front of the 3D Gloop photo, no doubt.
Are you gonna see Miss Barclays at the door with a rolling pin?
I'll put it this way. I don't want to talk about people's personal life, but let's just say his wife has put up with way more crap than I think most people ever would have. For better or for worse. I'll just leave it at that.
My wife would just beat me.
Yeah, I can see Beth doing that.
She would say, first I want to thank Chuck Hillebuck for this.
Get it right between the ribs. Didn't this set include a knife as well?
Oh, right here.
Then she can use that to slice and dice your body, and you can go join Ponytail.
Really put the screws to you.
You can go join Ponytail underneath the cement slab next door.
Actually, I've seen him, so he's all right.
Oh, he is?
He's not under the slab, so.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I saw him a week ago.
I got a little worried
I said,
there.
thank goodness I haven't seen you since you poured the concrete. He's like, you're just wrong.
It's about as good as where's Jimmy Hoffa. Oh my gosh.
Well, you want to go ahead and call it?
Might as well. I'm getting hungry.
Guys, thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day. Take care. We will catch you soon. I'm going to try getting back to doing streams again.
You better.
Once I get my voice back, don't sound like stinking Alex Jones.
I'm Alex Jones, and buy my tea.
Chocolate covered gummy bears. That's a conspiracy by the government. It's a conspiracy to make us fat. So I'll prove it. See, there we go. Sure. You see the bouncers packing on me right now. They're packing on me right now. It's a government conspiracy. Government conspiracy.
But remember, you can use Alex Jones Diet Tea to get around the gummy bear conspiracy.
That's right. I drink caveman. Caveman just gives me all the vitamins, the bones, and everything. Gives me everything I need, to fight off this government conspiracy. Yeah, I'll make sure he eats his dinner. They had those too. Chocolate covered cinnamon bears.
Okay, that actually sounds pretty good.
They had those.
That sounds good.
I hate cinnamon.
Oh, that sucks.
I'll eat cinnamon sugar bits on toast, but everything else is like, it's a conspiracy, I tell you. Government conspiracy.
Government.
I'm not going to get these chewed up before the stream ends. Guys, take care. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. Take care.
Join us before the government takes this stream down, because they're out to get us. Kill that stream, Jimmy, before they arrest us.
Oh no! Here they come!
Ah!